What's up guys? In today's video I'm going to teach you and I'm going to show you how to create a bot that opens positions at specific times. So first of all let me show you one thing, and is that here you have my GitHub. So if you come to Coba trading bot, then MQL5, here you have this code, this bot called timebot. So this is the bot, and you are going to check something. There are two ways of solving this problem. We are going to see both of them. But you can see that here, inside this, you have these comments in which I tell you that, hey, remove this if you want this to work in this way, or leave it like this and it will work in the second way. But yeah, anyways, let's get to that. So the first thing that we have to do is to open MetaTrader 5. So, okay, now we have this open here, and the next thing is to come to the IDE, and I think that I have this already here. Let me delete all this. So now that we have here the IDE, what is the thing that we have to do? We have to create a new expert advisor. How? You come here, you click on new. Okay, this is being shown in the other screen. Let me move this. Okay, now you click on expert advisor, you give it a name, timebot. Okay, I already have this here. I'm going, yeah, whatever. Next and end. You take all this code, you delete it, and yeah, let's get to that. So we want that, for example, every day at 8 a.m. we open a position. How do you do this? First of all, let's create some parameters so you can put the time in which you want to open the position. So for example, this is going to be the hour, and it's going to be 8 is an integer, just an integer, and here we are going to put this beautiful hour, and here we are going to put int minute 0, for example, and yeah, let's put this. So now you can put every hour and every minute that you want. So as I said at the beginning of the video, there are two ways of solving this. The first one is just checking on every tick if we are at the time we want to be. That's simple, but that has a problem that we will see later. So what we can do is that on tick, so on every tick, we are just going to simply check if we are in the minute and in the hour that we want. But let me show you something before. Here you have the documentation about time in MQL5. This is important because there are a lot of things. So for example, this is the time current, but if you use this function, this is not giving you the current time, it's giving you the time of the last tick if you use that in the octick function. Or for example, if we are using the function inside on the init, on timer, and so on init, this is going to return the time of the last quote received. So it is not the exact time, like it is not the actual time. In order to get the time, you have to use the time local. This function returns the time that you have on your computer. So for example, here I have 2 p.m. and 56, so 4 to 3. So we are going to use this function, and also it will be useful that you check this structure, because here you have all the information you need. We are going to use only the hour and the minute, but yeah, that's the documentation about this. So knowing this, we can continue, and as I said, we are going to use the local time local, but you can see that this is receiving something, MQL date time. So we need to create that variable. So we are going to add date time, perfect, and we are going to put here time. Now we send the time, and look, it is that simple. We are going to put here if time min equals minute and not this, and the time hour equals the hour, then we are at the time. But the problem of this is that there are going to be a lot of ticks in 1 minute. So in order to prevent to open lots and lots and lots of positions, what we can do is the following. Since we have to open position, let's declare here a variable ulong trade ticket, and if, let's put here another, and if trade ticket is equal to 0, it means that there is not a position open. Once there is another position opened, we are not going to do any of this stuff. We are not going to do, well, we are not going to open another position. That's it. So now that we have this, we have to do the following. So we have to say, okay, let's take the bid. We are going to basically open a position. And for this, what we know is that, okay, give me the symbol info double, and just from the symbol, I want the bid. I'm going to open a sell, but look, you can change this to open a buy or whatever. Okay, perfect. But this returns a lot of decimals. So what do we do here? It is as simple as calling normalize double, and we are going to say, hey, use as many decimals as this market is using. Perfect. So the next thing that we have to do is to open the sell. But for this, we need to import some things. So we're going to include from the trade folder the trade.mqh. And here there is a class called cTrade, and we are going to declare an object called trade. Perfect. So now we are ready to open positions. So we are going to use this object, and we are going to call the function sell. If you want to open a buy, open a buy. So which volume? So since this is an example, that's just 0.1, the symbol, then the price, the price is the bid, then the stop loss. Since this is a sell, the stop loss is above, so we have to put here a plus, and we are going to add to the bid, to the current bid, 100 points. That's just that. And the take profit, let's put this just, I don't know, like 100 points, but in this case below. So do we need something else? No. So another thing is that, look, I'm going to use this in the synthetical markets, and it will be useful if we put a big stop loss and a big take profit. Perfect. Now we need to set this variable. So for this, we are going to say, okay, trade ticket is going to be equal to the trade result order. Perfect. So now we have everything we want. So what we can do is to compile, check that we are not missing anything, and we can go to the MetaTrader 5. Let me see if I have it. Yeah. So now we have here the time bot, the market, and let's use the mode, the visual mode, and let's check. So we set, I forgot to show you, yeah, here 8 a.m. The positions are going to be opened at 8 a.m. So now here we are the 1st of July and we are at 12 a.m. So what we are going to do is that we are going to jump until almost 8, and you can see that at 8 this opened a position. So for example, let's go to a day after and let's check if that still happens. So it doesn't happen because I forgot one important thing, which is to reset this reset this once the position is not open. So for example, we have to do position select by ticket. We send the ticket. We are going to put here trade ticket. And if this returns false, it means that there is not a position open. So what we are going to do here is that, okay, trade ticket, put it to 0. Perfect. So now let's check if this is okay. So let's open this again and let's check. So let's go to the 01. So we jump until here. Okay, this opens the position. Let's go to the next day. Let's see if this opens the position. This opens the position. Let's check if it is successful. It is successful. Nice. Let's go to the third day. And okay, this opens the position and it is nice. Let's go to the fourth day and see if this is working. And look, at 8 a.m. this is opening the position. So now we have a bot that opens the position at the time we want. But this type of implementation has one big problem. And which is the problem? imagine that you are in a market which doesn't have many ticks. Let's say that it has, I don't know, 2 ticks per 10 minutes. So it can happen that it doesn't open the operation because since the tick didn't happen at this exact time, you cannot open it that. So it's not going to open. So how do we solve this? Let's comment all this because we don't need this here. What we are going to do is that we are going to tell the bot, instead of checking on every tick, hey, is this moment okay to open the position? No, we're going to say, hey, at this moment, open the position. So how do we do this? It's very simple. So we are going to put here on init. And what do we have to do? We have to set a timer. So for example, let's say that we open this bot at 7 a.m. and yeah, we want that it opens the positions at 8 a.m. So what we have to say is, okay, set a timer, and once it is 8 a.m., open the position. So how do we set the timer? What we can do is that, let's take this again. Okay, we have the time, but we need to check how many time left is until 8 a.m., until this hour. It is very simple. So we are going to put here hours left. First of all, let's compute the hours left. So what we have to do now is something very easy, and is that, for example, if the current hour is below this hour, it is just subtracting this one minus the current one. But if the current one is above this one, we have to subtract 24 minus the subtraction of this one and the current one. It's very simple. You're going to see this here in the code, and it's like this. Okay, if the time hour is less or equal than hour, we are going to do the following. It is very simple here. We are just going to subtract. So like this. Perfect. But for example, if we are at 9 a.m. and we have to work until 8 a.m. of the next day, we have to wait 23 hours. So now we have to imagine that, for example, we are at 9 a.m. and we want to open a position at 8 a.m. of the next day. So what we have to do is to say, okay, 24, because now we have to wait 23 hours. So we are going to say, okay, 24 minus the current time minus the hour. So if we are at 9 a.m., this would be 9 minus 8, 1, and 24 minus 1, 23, and it's the 23 hours that we have to wait. Okay, so now we have to compute the number of seconds that we have to wait, and this is almost the same. So here we are going to put seconds instead of time hour, not seconds, sorry, this is the minutes. Here we are going to put a time min, and instead of putting here hour, we are going to put here minute. Let's put here minute, and here min. Okay, so now we have this. We have the hours left and the minutes left. So let's set the timer. How do we set the timer? Well, let me put this like this, for example. How do we set the timer? We have to call the function event set timer. And what does it receive? It receives seconds. So we need to also transform this into seconds. But this is truly simple. So how many seconds are in an hour? So 306,000, but it's just simply putting this by this by this. Plus, how many seconds are in 1 minute? So we are going to put minutes left by 60. So now we have computed how many hours and minutes are left, but in seconds. So the next thing is that, okay, when this timer is set, like now we set the timer, once the time comes, what the bot is going to do is to execute this function called onTimer. So here we have to open a position. That's it. So we open the position, perfect, but now we have to do something else. The way MQL5 handles timers is a little bit different. So what it does is that, for example, now imagine that these are, I don't know, 3 hours and 40 minutes. So this timer is set that every 3 hours and 40 minutes, this function is going to be called. And we don't want that. We just want that every 24 hours at this time, we open that position. So it can happen that this is 3 hours, but after those 3 hours, we are going to be at this time. So what we have to do is that, okay, kill the timer, stop the timer. We don't want more timers. But now establish a new one every 24 hours. So now that we are at the right time, we are going to establish a timer. So every 24 hours, we are going to open positions. So in 24 hours, in an hour, there are 60 minutes, and here 60 seconds. Perfect. So I think that we have finished with this. Let's check this. Let's try it. And okay, let's come back to the one at almost 8 and let's see if this opens the position. So okay, this is opening the position. This is very, very, very nice. Let's go to the 2nd of July. Let's see if it works. It is working. That is very, 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 very nice. Let's go to the 3rd. Okay, it is also working here. Let's go to the 4th. It is also working here, and let's go to the 5th. And if this works, it means that, okay, let's see if, yeah, it is working, and yeah, that's it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and look, this bot is very useful because you can change the time. Like if you want it to be at 9 AM, you just have to come to the parameters and put here 9. And if you want it to be at 9:30, so will you put here 9:30. That's it. It's very, very, very simple. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, give it a like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one.